Hello my dear students, how are you all doing? Hope everything is fine and you're taking ample care of yourselves. Children, I hope you are completing your work whatever is given you and you are doing everything on time. Children, I am Sophia Sheikh, your science teacher, and here we meet again for a new session. Children, as you know, we are revising the previous lessons, and I am also, after every revision, I solve the worksheets along with you children. So children, I want you people to solve these worksheets and the notes that I have given you on the and upload it on the drive. Yes, so if you have not yet started, start completing your work so it won't become hectic at all at once, and you upload, make sure you upload it on the drive in your folder. So what you have to do is you have to start uploading the things on the drive. Okay, so children, today we are here for discussing the fifth chapter, chapter number 5, that is methods of separation, and then we will also be solving the worksheets along with it. So children, what are the methods of separation? I will be providing the link description. Please make sure you view the previous videos too for a detailed explanation. Children, here this is a good opportunity for the ones who have not paid attention, or if they still have any doubt regarding any method of separation that we have discussed earlier. So make sure you observe this video and solve the worksheet which I give you at last. So without delaying it, let's get started. And children, make sure you upload it on the drive. I'll be sharing my email ID at the end of the video, and if you have any queries and doubts, make sure you ask me through via mail. Okay, you can send me email whatever your doubt is. If you have not understood any part of my explanation, make sure you ask me the doubt. Okay, so let's get started with our lesson. I will quickly revise the lesson, what is all that in the lesson, that is we will discuss it once again so that the concept becomes very clear and no doubt is there. So without delaying, let's get started. So here are our methods of mixture separation. First of all, before starting, what are the methods of separation? Children, can you recall what is a mixture? What is meant by a mixture? Yes children, can you recall what are mixtures? First of all, what will be the mixtures made up of? In this lesson, you know that classification of materials in the previous lesson we have already studied how the substances or the materials are classified. But here we will see how they are separated. Children, materials are made up of very small particles of the units. As you all know, they are what they are called as, they are the atoms. Yes, correct. And atoms, the substances are made up of elements and molecules, correct, and the various molecules mix up to form a compound. Very good. So compounds are nothing, when the more molecules of elements or compounds are present together, it is called a mixture. Yes, for example, milk and air are some common mixtures. In nature, there are about 118 elements, and the entire universe is made of these elements. So, and a mixture is nothing. So, children, the question arises: what is a mixture, and why there is need to learn this methods of separation? First of all, what is a mixture? A mixture contains molecules, more than one molecule, like it has one molecule or more than two, one or more, that is two. For example, air is a mixture of several gases, and oxygen, water is a mixture of oxygen and hydrogen atoms. So a substance which contains only one type of molecule is a pure substance, but whereas if the substance contains more than one molecules, it will become a mixture. Yes, dust and smoke particles are also present in air, so air is a mixture. So the different substances present in the mixture, for example, if I give you take a common example of the dish, of any dish that your mother cooks. For example, you have eaten bhel that we eat? Bhel your mother cooks, maybe cooking, we have eaten it outside or from the vendors, correct? So when you see that dish bhel is a mixture of farsan and peanuts are present in it. There are various some people use cashew nuts even in it. So it is very various spices are used in it, and the sauce, that is chutney, is used. So I am just giving you an example to understand this. Bhel is nothing but an example of a mixture that you people know. We see it in everyday life, but we don't recognize it as a mixture. So based on that, it has various components. Is it only made up of farsan? No. Other things are also mixed up in it, so that's why it is called a mixture. So on the basis of the components, mixtures are classified into which two types, children? Can you recall? Yes, the mixtures are of two types, that is the homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. When I give you the example of bhel, what type of mixture is it? Like the first of all, let me tell you what is an homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture is if the components of a mixture cannot be seen or are not visible, it is called homogeneous. So it is completely one. For example, milk and water, they get mixed with each other, you cannot differentiate, so it is a homogeneous mixture. Whereas the bhel example I gave you is a heterogeneous mixture. Why? Because you can hand pick the peanuts, the shave, everything separately, correct? So it is a example of heterogeneous mixture. We saw the properties of mixture. In a mixture, the mixture is made up of elements that are mixed in any ratios. The mixture, like if someone likes peanuts, he will add more shave in it, or maybe more peanut, etc. I am just using the example of bhel to relate and make the concept clear. Okay, so this was the first property, like the ratio is not fixed. You can add more or remove the ratio, or like it is not fixed. In compounds, the elements lose their individual properties. So in mixture, the elements present in them retain their individual properties. Like even though in bhel the peanut is seen and can be hand picked or can be removed, correct? Does it get mixed with the other substances in the bhel? No. Why? Because peanut has got its own property, so you can differentiate in it and you can find that. Okay, so why is there a need to separate it? So reasons for separating a constituent of a mixture that we have already studied, there are basically three reasons that you need to remember. Is to obtain a pure substance, to obtain useful constituents, and to remove undesirable constituents. For example, again take the same example, that is eating bhel. Some people don't like more shave or peanuts in it. Even in pohe that your mother cooks, some of you may not like the extra peanuts that your mama puts in. So many of you have the habit of removing it, correct? We even remove curry leaves out of that, and green chili, correct? So there are three main reasons why separation is done. Is to obtain a pure substance, to obtain useful constituents. When we obtain a pure substance, how? Components of a mixture are to get separated to get a pure substance. So like for example, in mining or mineral, the crude oil is separated just to get petrol and diesel out of it, which are useful substances and pure substances. And as I told you, there are remove useful constituents. So petrol is needed for our need for the vehicle to run, so that's why the crude oil is separated into diesel, petrol, kerosene, etc. So get useful constituents. The third reason is to remove undesirable constituents. Children, at times mixture contain undesirable constituents which you need to remove from the mixture. For example, a river contains harmful substances like that that are called pollutants. So you need to remove them so as to make the mixture or the whatever compound you have to make it pure. So that is the reason we do it. So we basically that's why there is a need to separate mixture. Now coming to the main part of a lesson, that is methods of separation. Now methods of separating a constituent of mixture are basically based on the three properties or the three basic states of matter, solid, liquid, gas. So how do we separate them? We separate solid from solids, we separate liquid from solids, and we separate liquids from liquids. So these are the methods we will be studying. Like we saw how to separate when we are discussing about separating solid from solid, we will be learning about the methods like sieving, winnowing, threshing, etc. And when we are separating soluble solids from liquids, we will study evaporation, distillation, etc. Now when we are talking about insoluble solid from liquid, we will discuss what is sedimentation, decantation and filtration, and some other methods like loading, centrifugation, etc. And then we will solve the worksheet and call it a day. Okay. So without dealing, let's discuss those methods of separation. Okay, children. So here children, here are our methods of mixture separation. First of all, this is some here I will be providing you with you some extra methods, or just for your general knowledge or extra knowledge. So mechanical separation, a new term has come children here, that is mechanical separation. It is often done by hand, and it takes advantage of physical properties such as color and shape. For example, recycling, plastic, paper, metal. When we segregate garbage, that is into uh, two things, we segregate garbage, right, into dry waste and wet waste. So this is nothing but an example of mechanical separation, where we see the shape and color of a substance, and it is often done by hand. So the various methods are like, for example, you are separating two a, a bag of ball is given to you, and you are separating red color balls, and see, as you can see that in a bowl, you have to separate black color balls, red color balls, etc. based on color and shape, rectangular objects, circular objects, etc. So this is called mechanical separation. Second one is magnetic separation. This is also something that is new for you, or maybe you might have known it, but let me tell you again, magnetic separation takes advantage of the physical property of magnetism. What is magnetism? The substances that get attracted to a magnet show the property of magnetism. So when you have a mixture, for example, of sulfur and iron fillings, sulfur powder and iron fillings, we will also be performing this in our practical too. So children, be patient for that, we will also do that. So you will practically come to see what is exact magnetic separation. Okay. So when you take a magnet, any magnet, horseshoe magnet, bar magnet, etc., and just move it above the dish, all the iron fillings will get attracted to a magnet, and you will get the clear dish with the sulfur powder. So isn't it helpful to just separate it easily? So it is an example of magnetic separation. The other examples of magnetic separation where it is used is turbo beads animation. You have, if you have to see this video, I'll provide this link too in the description. Please make sure you watch this animated video that I have attached along with this my video. So it will be just for your general knowledge, and it will increase your curiosity even. Okay. Now with coming to the main methods of separation that we are discussing in a textbook, which are mentioned, are the filtration. What is filtration? It is a process where the physical property or the state of matter of filtrate is filtered using the filter paper. A screen lets the liquid particles through, but the traps absorbs the solid particles. Everyday life examples where we see filtration is filtering a coffee, tea. Your mother filters tea leaves and gives the whatever the liquid is, we consume it, right? Even while making juice of mango pulp, and sometimes when you make a pomegranate juice, that time too, ask your mother how does she do it. She strains the liquid with the help of a sieve or the strainer. Have you seen? So what your work is today, go and observe your mother making tea, how she strains it, tea leaves. All of us have seen this, but again you have to go and observe your mother and tell her this process is nothing but it is called filtration. Okay. So a filter can be also used to separate solid particles of different sizes. For example, not only in the kitchen, or the filtration method is also used for a window, or a window screen, an air filter, a sand sieve, etc. are all the examples where filtration method is used as a beneficial one to Okay. Now we have the another method of separation is decanting. It is to pour off a liquid, leaving another liquid or solid behind. Children, do you remember where we have studied it? Yes. First of all, you need to sediment it. This process is done after sedimentation. Decanting is done after sedimentation. So, as a mixture is leave for hours, and as the solid particles settle down or get sedimentated, like this, the pure, as you can see here in the picture, the man is removing the liquid that floating above, and the whatever the rice is left inside. The example here is to decant a liquid from a precipitate of water and rice. So, the man is straining the or pouring of the extra liquid after the rice has settled down. So, this is an example of decantation or decanting. Then then the other method of separation is distillation. Children, why it is done? Where it is done? Where while separating soluble solids from liquids. Yes, distillation is done. The separation of a mixture of liquid based on the physical property of boiling point. Here the main principle that is followed is the boiling point, and the special flasks, that is the Liebig's condenser, is used here in the process of distillation. Two different liquids having a different liquid boiling point are used. So, that's a distillation of alcohol and oil are given, the figure is given using that example. It is what happens, children, here is the boiling point of alcohol and oil are two different. So, both the mixture of those two liquid is heated, and as the boiling point of alcohol reaches, so see they have put the temperature also in that conical flask. The alcohol will start boiling first, and after whatever the oil has the boiling point, then it will. What is condensation process? Here the condensation is done, how the liquid particles is condensed in the another flask, conical flask. Okay. So, this is another some links for distillation animation. I will be giving it in the description, don't worry. So, a distillation tower or still using, say here are examples of real life crude factories where petrol is extracted in big factories. So, the crude oil refining, the process is like this here. So, you can, as you can see here in the picture, the cooler liquid is falling and how the distillation process is being carried out. Okay. Now, we have evaporation. It is a very common term and we all know what is evaporation. It is vaporizing a liquid and leaving the dissolved solid behind, and it is used to separate salt solutions. So, it is used to obtain salt. It is done in near the salt pans. Salt pans are made, sea water is collected in them, and when the sea water gets evaporated, the salt is left behind. The salt is left filtered and processed, and it is turned into a salt which can be consumed. We put it into our vegetables and cooked dishes, etc. So, it is like that the process goes. So, obtaining sea salt from the sea water is an example of evaporation. This is some extra method that you can know is a density separation. More dense components sink to the bottom and less dense components float. Sorry, the components cannot be soluble within each other. So, the density is main. The main density is the main point, that is the principle of this process. So, that is why the name is density separation. Children, here the density of two liquids is different. So, they will float accordingly. The subliquid with more density will go down, whereas lesser one will float on. So, like this, as you can see here in the test tube, the three layers are formed, and what you can do is separate them by decanting, that is removing clearly, slowly tilting the test tube and removing each liquid one by one in separate flasks, or maybe you can use the separating funnel for it. Okay. Centrifugation, this process is done or used while separating. It is most common and it is used with the centrifuge force is main point. So, separating insoluble solids from liquids, this method is used, which is called using a centrifuge. It is also called as centrifugation. The circular motion helps denser components sink to the bottom faster. So, here the main is the motion of the liquid that is placed like this. You can see here in the picture the separation of blood or DNA from the blood is done using centrifugation. Milk also, milk cream is separated from the milk. Not only in the medical purposes, the milk is also, cream is also obtained from the milk using the same method, that is centrifugation. How does this centrifugation method takes place? The liquid mixture is put into that machine, and by rotating the liquid mixture in a machine, the heavier particle, what happens is the heavier particles settle down and the lighter particles remain on top. Like this, the cream is separated from milk by centrifugation, as cream is lighter and it separates the float, and it floats at the top of the milk layer, and hence it is just removed. So this was an extra, just a few minutes I'll take. You just have to know this. Paper chromatography is another method used for separating mixture. This is done and uses the property of molecular attraction. This is some different concept, so you just need to know this is also a method of separation. Okay, so let us now come to a point where we are. So let's not go in detail on this, but let's start solving our worksheet. Children, before starting with the worksheet, let me tell you, here is my email ID. You have to mail me your queries, doubts, anything, any issue that you feel on this email ID. And I have already sent you the worksheet, so no need to panic. You have to refer that. If you have copied down the questions from that, very good, well and good. If you have not, don't panic. You can just play this video, pause it wherever necessary as I instruct you. Focus on my instructions and we will solve it together. Okay, so let's get started. So children, I have already sent you this chapter 5th, separation of substances. I know I have previously sent you one more worksheet on this, based on this topic. Why I am stressing on this lesson? Because I know the main of the confusion and all that doubt comes from this lesson only. So don't panic. It is, if you have no doubt, very good, just it is for your practice purposes. Okay, so let's solve this worksheet. Let me zoom in so that you can that is visible clearly. Okay, first question is, it is MCQ question and you have to choose the answer from the multiple. Choose the correct alternative for this. So you have to put today's date, take a new page on your science textbook, put today's date and write the name as chapter 5, separation of substances. Write worksheet, even worksheet solving, and put question number 1, that is multiple choice questions. Under that sub question, put number 1 and write husk is separated from heavier seeds of grain. Sorry, I repeat, husk is separated from heavier seeds of grain by which method? The options are winnowing, hand picking, sieving and none of the above. Yes children, husk is separated by which method? We have already discussed. Yes, the farmers do this, and this method is based on the husk is separated based on when it is heavier from the grain. Yes, correct. Your answer is correct. If you have already written, write the answer on the next line, and hope you have written. The answer is option A, winnowing. Yes, winnowing is a process where the husk is separated from the heavier seeds of grain with the help of wind. So leave a line after that and copy the second question, that is, which of the following properties can affect dissolution of sugar in water? Which of the following properties can affect dissolution of sugar in water? Dissolution is what? Dissolving. Okay. So option A is quantity of sugar, option B is the temperature, option C type of water, and option D is amount of sugar dissolved. So which of the factors you can think can affect the solution of sugar in water, like at a saturation point? So the answer is amount, option D, amount of sugar dissolved. Yes, the saturation point reached depends upon the amount of sugar dissolved. After a point, after some amount, the So sugar won't dissolve because the solution has already reached the saturation point. So the correct answer is option D, amount of sugar dissolved. Leave a line after that. If you have not completed, you can pause the video, copy it down and with the answer. And I hope children, you are leaving a line after each question, so I don't need to repeat it after each and every question. So make sure you are leaving a line, okay. So the third question is, third MCQ, which technique is used to purify dirty water? Among these are the options, and among that you have to choose it. Which technique is used to purify dirty water? Option A, centrifugation, option B, evaporation, option C, sedimentation, and option D, decantation. Which is the most appropriate method, children, do you think? Yes, have you got a right answer? Some of you have already guessed the correct answer in it. So the correct answer is, yes, have you guessed or written? Yes, the correct answer is option A, children, option C, sedimentation. Yes, the dirty water is allowed to sediment, the sediments, it is allowed to stay still, and the sediments, as it is sedimented, the water is collected, okay. So the answer is option C, sedimentation. The fourth question you have is, 4 mixtures are given below. I will read out the 4 mixtures. That is, first one, kidney beans and chickpeas. Kidney beans are nothing but the rajma that your mama cooks, and chickpeas are the chola or the chole bhature. Mama cooks the vegetable out of it. So these are nothing, the rajma and chole, mixture of them. Pulses and rice. Third mixture is rice flakes and corn, and the fourth one is potato wafers and biscuits. Now what you have to do with the question is, which of these can be separated by the method of winnowing? Children, do you recall what is the method of winnowing? Which of these, among these 4 mixtures that I have already read it for you, which of these can be separated by the method of winnowing? Winnowing is the method where the husk is separated by throwing the mixture from the height. So which mixture do you think will be separated by it? Yes, I guess you have already the options. The options for the answer are option A, first and second, that is kidney beans and chickpeas, and the second one, pulses and rice. Option B is second and third, option C is first and third, and option D is fourth, third and fourth. Yes, children, have you guessed the correct answer? The correct answer is option D, that is 3 and 4. Rice flakes and corn. Rice flakes are lighter in weight, so the corn will fall down and rice flakes will be separated in a different direction, in the direction of wind. So it can be separated with the help of winnowing. And potato wafers and biscuit, which is light in weight, wafers, obviously wafers. So they will be separated and the biscuits will fall down. So you have, many of you might have got the wrong answer. No need to panic. I have already cleared and told you the answer. So you have to write option D, 3 and 4 is the correct answer. Children, if you have completed it, leave a line and you have to copy the next question. If not, pause the video and complete it, okay. So I am moving further to the 5th question, that is, a solution is said to be dash if it cannot dissolve more of the substance in it. A solution is said to be dash if it cannot dissolve more of the substance in it. So there is a point where the substance don't dissolve, and it is called a saturation point, correct. So sorry, I have already told you the answer. Let me read out the options for you. A, saturated, B, unsaturated, C, homogeneous, and D, heterogeneous. So the answer is option A, saturation. A solution is said to be saturated if the substance or the solute that will dissolve cannot dissolve in it, okay. Leave a line after that and let's go to the next question, that is 6. Statement. Now look carefully. Statement A, a mixture of cement and pebbles can be separated by using the sieve with small pores. And the statement B here we have is, a sieve with small pores will allow only small cement particles to pass through and will hold back the pebbles. Now among both these statements, the options are option A, statement A is true only, statement B is true only, option C is both are false, and option D both are true. To know which one is true, let me read it again for you carefully. Statement A is a mixture of cement and pebbles can be separated by using the sieve with small pores. So what will happen? Yes, cement and have you seen it in the on the side? They use a sieve which is slanting in position. They use it for separating cement and pebbles. And the statement B here we have is a sieve with small pores will only allow small cement particles to pass through it and hold back the pebbles. Now what do you think, is only statement A is true only, or the statement B is true only? So children, pause the video and think on it. Come on, read it again and again. Okay, let me tell you, help you out in this question. The correct answer is option D. Both the statements are true. Yes, because a sieve is used as the construction site with the small pores, correct? And what the statement B says that the cement will pass and the pebbles will be separated, correct? So both the statements are true. So those who have got it correct, very good, and those who have not, please don't be panicked. I have already cleared your doubt. If you still have any doubt, please let me know. The seventh one is a mixture of salt, sand, oil and water is given. Which of these sequences can be used to separate salt? A. Decantation, filtration and then evaporation. Option B. First you have to do filtration, evaporation and condensation. Option C is filtration, boiling and then decantation. And option D is none of the above. What you have to do, read the question again. A mixture of salt, sand and oil and water is given. First is salt, sand, oil and water. So if you have to separate salt, sand and water. What you have to do is, oil will be dissolved in it, not completely, but what will be the sequence? First what you will do is, let the filter sediment. So you can do decantation first, like remove oil and water from the mixture of sand and soil. Then you can do is what is filtration. So filtration will help the sand come out of it, and then when you evaporate, the soil or the salt will be left behind. So the correct answer is option A, decantation, filtration and then evaporation. Okay. The eighth question we have here is, which of the following is not a method of separation of substances? Which of the following is not the method of separation? We have discussed what are the methods of separation. So the options are A. Threshing, B. Filtration, C. Saturated solution and D. Sedimentation. Come on, this is very simple. So our correct answer is yes. Children, correct. You have already guessed it. It is C, which is saturated solution. Very good. Now let's move on further. Those who have not finished, pause the video and complete it, children. And I hope you are leaving a line after each question. The ninth question is, water drops condensed under a plate that has been used to cover a vessel containing milk that has just been boiled. This is due to dash. Let me repeat. Water drops condensed under a plate, like water is boiling and you cover it with the lid, that is used to cover a vessel containing milk that has just been boiled. This is due to, why do the water droplets condense on the, we have just ask your mama, or you may observe this in your kitchen too, like your mother is boiling. Try this in your home too, children. Your mother has boiled milk, and what you have to do, go and put the plate or the lid on it. After some time what you will see is the water droplets from the milk. Why do the water droplets, what happens on the lid, why the water droplets collect? Yes, this is because evaporation has taken place, correct? From the mixture of, when the milk is boiled, the vapors get evaporated and they settle. So you might have thought that this is condensation, but look at the question again. Water drops condense under a plate. Already in the question it is mentioned condensed, so our correct answer will be option A, that is evaporation. Okay children, so here is our last question. I have already shared this PDF with you, so make sure you complete it and upload it on the drive. So the last question we have is, to separate dust and soil particles from rice, water is added, then the vessel is tilted to pour out the dirty water. This is an example of dash, and the options are decantation, loading, filtration and winnowing. So let me repeat the question. To separate dust and soil particles from rice, water is added. Then the vessel is tilted to pour out the dirty water. So this is an example of, your mother does this often children, and we have already seen the rice particle example while explaining the process of decantation. Yes. So the correct answer among these options is option A, that is decantation. So decantation is only the process that is done after sedimentation. So once the soil particles and the rice is sedimentated, the water is carefully poured out. So this is an example of decantation. So children, here we complete with we have done with our worksheet and done with the revision of this lesson. I have tried to explain the best, because the methods are confusing and the principles are a bit hard to remember. So children, make sure you solve this worksheet, upload it on the drive. I will check it from there itself, and if still a doubt arise, feel free to ask me through my email ID that I have shared previously. So children, this was for today. Take good care of yourselves. Goodbye.